So in the last section we had defined the difference between a population and a sample, and we had talked about how in a later section we would talk about some of the ways of how we would actually go about picking which objects were going to be in our sample. So as stated before, if you want to know something about a population, it's often impossible or impractical to examine the whole population. It might be too expensive in terms of time or money, or it might be impractical. You can't test all batteries for the length of lifetime because there wouldn't be any batteries left to sell. You need to look at a sample in many of these cases. So hopefully the sample behaves the same as the population. So when you choose a sample, you want it to be as similar to the population as possible. If you want to test a new painkiller for adults, you would want the sample to include people who are fat, skinny, old, young, healthy, not healthy, male, female, okay, all these other different variables that we think might play a role. There are many ways to collect a sample. None are perfect. Okay? So at the end of the day, when we start learning about inferential statistics, we're going to find we're never going to be able to say that we're 100% confident in the things that we're about to say about the population, but they will be pretty good educated guesses, and we'll see why that is as we get into those sections later. So none are perfect, and you're not guaranteed to collect a representative sample. That is unfortunately the limitations of sampling. However, there are several techniques that can result in samples that give you a semi-accurate picture of the population. Just remember to be aware that the sample may not be representative. As an example, you could take a random sample of a group of people that are equally males and females, yet by chance everyone you chose in the sample ended up being female. Now the probability of that happening would be quite small, but it would be possible. If this happens, it may be a good idea to collect a new sample if you have the time and the money.